The best scenario for any streaming service is to take a page from the Amazon Studios playbook and determine which films will warrant the expense and resources for a full-blown theatrical release. Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. On today's episode of Let's Talk, we dive into the question of whether Netflix should own movie theaters and release their films theatrically. Before we dive into that, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. What is Poddex, you ask? That is a great question. Let me tell you. Poddex are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or to gamify the podcast. Simply shuffle up, ask a question, and let the content roll. Get yours today at poddex.com and use the code Larry21 for 10% off your order. If you stick around till the end of the show, you'll be able to see Poddex in action. And now let's dive right into today's topic. Should Netflix own movie theaters and release their films theatrically? As reported by the Wall Street Journal, The Irishman has become one of the most expensive dramas in years. Netflix has spent roughly $1 per subscriber of its $150 million globally to make the star-studded Scorsese mob drama, which starred Robert De Niro, Pacino, Harvey Keitel, Joe Pesci, Ray Romano, and others. In total, Netflix spent over $520 million on its three biggest movies to date: The Irishman, Red Notice, and Six Underground. Netflix tends to spend more on its films than major Hollywood studios because it pays A-list talent more upfront rather than compensate actors and filmmakers with a short share of box office revenue. Although top talent are guaranteed more upfront with Netflix than with the studio, this has caused controversy as they earn less than they would if it was the same film were a box office hit. To gain and keep subscribers, Netflix has poured a lot of its energy and money into its slate of original films. In 2018, Netflix spent $12 billion on original content, and this year it's expected to drop $15 billion into its global library. The previously released Sandra Bullock-helmed Bird Box was a huge hit with 80 million viewers within its first month, and the action-adventure Triple Frontier, starring Ben Affleck and Charlie Hunnam, has more than 63 million views since it was released. Should the leader in streaming now take a new step and get in the cinema business? There's no way the current business model is sustainable. If you take a look, the trend in entertainment is shifting and it's heading towards experience entertainment, which is cinema and not home-based. We're slowly moving out of the COVID experience of watching movies at home, and now we're getting more accustomed going back to the theaters to watch films. Netflix recently saw a loss of nearly 130,000 American subscribers, the largest domestic drop for the streamer in nearly a decade, when it was expected to gain more than 350,000. The problem Netflix has is everyone in America already has a Netflix subscription. If they don't get into ads, where's the revenue going to come from? Their business is going to go away. Things, it appears, are turning full circle. Netflix could become acquisitive and take advantage of a depressed retail estate market and build out a strong fourth cinema competitor. There's two steps Netflix can and should take. In 10 years, people will be saying, that guy, Reed Hastings, was so predictive. He started with DVDs only, then shifted the business to DVDs and streaming, and then to streaming only. He was a visionary. If he doesn't get into the cinema business, he'll miss the entire experience entertainment economy. If they continue to invest as heavily as they have with film, they need to get into the cinema business to take advantage of this. And of course, they would add a new subscription to include cinema in their own branded theaters. That's the first step. Hastings would also be smart to build out a separate analytics business. The level of data they have on viewing habits, combined with the customer segmentation they also have, would be incredibly valued in some of the largest advertising sectors, including consumer packaged goods, auto and insurance. This could be a consistent source of revenue for Netflix. I just don't see Netflix and the top three cinema chains in the US ever coming together in a united front. The two sides cannot and will not come together. If Netflix intends to stay ad-free, Hastings needs to spend some cash on a cinema acquisition, and quickly. Building its own theater brand is the only way. Netflix would be committing corporate Carry by releasing big budget films such as The Irishman, Red Notice, or Six Underground theatrically, as it would only shift marketing share away from subscription streaming towards subscription cinema, and unfortunately for Netflix, that shift is already underway. The trend has already shifted and Netflix must get on that trend. Streaming is eventually going to become commoditized, and when that happens, how will Netflix remain on top? Companies have to evolve, or they go away. The Academy Award-winning Netflix film Roma, written and directed by Alfonso Cuarón, was released theatrically for 3 weeks before Netflix made it available online for its subscribers. The best scenario for any streaming service is to take a page from the Amazon Studios playbook and determine which films will warrant the expense and resources of a full-blown theatrical release, and which are best served by staying exclusively on the platform. Honoring the theatrical window is smart business, since the big screen release of any film makes it an event, and as a bonus, qualifies truly notable films for Oscar consideration. Stephen, apologies for saying his name wrong, Paternotte, co-founder and CEO of film finance marketplace Slated, also sees a future with Netflix movie theaters, saying, quote, "Once you've built and dominated an online juggernaut leveraging technology, you need to find a way to capture the offline world and create a 24-hour-a-day footprint. Netflix can get you at home, but how do they get you when you leave? At some point, Netflix needs to go offline when there are still billions of untapped potential consumers." Let us know in the comments section below. Do you think Netflix should start streaming the movies in theaters and buying a theater chain? Would you be interested in paying to see movies at a Netflix movie theater? I think what they could do, if they own their own theater chain, they should release, I think, shows at their theaters. Because if you're not going to release like episodes all at once, you can just drop them off like every Friday like other streaming services do, and then show that one episode in the theaters for a week, or just keep it running for till the end of the show season. But let us know your thoughts, and as always, if you want to support the show, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new writers, new hosts, grow our channel. If you want to keep in touch with us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Cinema Gold Show. Instagram, it's the Cinema Gold Show. So happy you're still here for our Poddex segment. This comes from the Poddex app, the Would You Rather deck, and today's question is, would you rather watch your TV shows as they air, or binge watch all your shows at once? For me, I would do them at once, or I guess binge them instead of as they air, because if it's a show I really like, I really hate it when they go on break for whatever reason, the Olympics or holidays or whatever. So, you know, you get stuck with all the cliffhangers that happen in between seasons or the end of seasons. So yeah, I definitely binge them instead of watch them as they air. But hey, let us know in the comment section below. What would you do? Thanks so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.